Native American legends describe an ancient race of white giants, and these legends are to be found in many of the Native American tribes. Several Native American tribes passed down legends of race of white giants who were wiped out, and we can take a closer look at a few of these legends, including those among the Choctaw Native Americans and the Comanches of the United States, down to the Manta of Peru. The Choctaw. Horatio Bardwell Cushman wrote in his book in 1899 titled History of the Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Natchez Indians, The Traditions of the Choctaws, told of a race of giants that once inhabited the now states of Tennessee and with whom their ancestors fought when they arrived in Mississippi in their migration from the west. Their tradition states the Nahulo race of giants was of wonderful stature. Cushman said the Nahulo, who came to be used to describe all white people, but originally referred to specifically to a giant white race with whom the Choctaw came into contact when they first crossed the Mississippi River. The Nahulo were said to be cannibals whom the Choctaw killed whenever an opportunity arose. Now let's remember that when the first European explorers went to, for example, South America, they saw the Amazon women there, the warrior women, and that's why they called the Amazon River Amazon. They actually described and witnessed these women. Now, could it be that these European women Amazons from ancient Greece were also in North America? And let's remember that the Greek language was used by the first Native Americans, and the chiefs knew of this language and the alphabet as well. Now, the Comanches. Chief Rolling Thunder of the Comanche tribe from the Great Plains gave the following account of an ancient race of white giants in 1857. He said, "Innumerable moons ago, a race of white men 10 feet tall and far more rich and powerful than any white people now living, here inhabited a large range of country extending from the rising to the setting sun. Their fortifications crowned the summits of the mountains, protecting their populous cities situated in the intervening valleys." So you can imagine now how much ancient archaeology is to be found in these plains and valleys and mountaintops of the United States from east to west. The chief said, "They excelled every other nation which was flourishing, either before or since, in all manner of cunning handicraft, were brave and warlike, ruling over the land they had wrestled from its ancient possessors with a high and haughty hand. Compared with them, the pale faces of the present day were pygmies in both art and arms," the chief said. And the chief explained that when this race forgot justice and mercy and became too proud, the Great Spirit wiped it out, and all that was left of their society were the mounds still visible on the tablelands. This account was documented by Dr. Donald Panther Yates, a researcher and author of the book on Native American history, on his blog. So doesn't that sound like Atlanteans to you? He said they became too proud and haughty, and they had tremendous technology, and they built all these cities everywhere, and it was a matter of time before the divine spirit did away with them. That, to me, sounds like an Atlantean prophecy, and Atlanteans being there. I have a playlist on the Emerald Tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean, describing that he foresaw their demise because of their haughtiness and greed, the fact that they were misusing advanced technology which they were not supposed to use. Now, the Navajo Indians. Yates also writes of the Star Snake people of Navajo legend, describing them as a regal race of white giants endowed with mining technology, who dominated the West, enslaved lesser tribes, and had strongholds all through the Americas. They were either extinguished or went back to the heavens. So in other words, we have here detailing of them using flight. Now, Manta. In 1864, Pedro de Cieza de Leon wrote in Chronicle of Peru about legendary giants described to him by the Manta indigenous people. They said there are, however, reports concerning giants in Peru who landed on the coast at the point of Santa Elena. The natives relate the following tradition, which had been received from their ancestors from very remote times. They arrived on the coast in boats made of reeds, as big as large ships, a party of men of such size that, from the knee downwards, their height was as great as the entire height of an ordinary man, though he might be of good stature. Their limbs were all in proportion to the deformed size of their bodies, and it was a monstrous thing to see their heads, with hair reaching to the shoulders. Their eyes were as large as small plates. Leon said that the sexual habits of the giants were revolting to the natives, and heaven eventually wiped out the giants because of those habits. Now the Paiutes. The Paiute Native American Indians are said to have an oral tradition that told of red-haired white cannibals about 10 feet tall who lived or near what is now known as Lovelock Cave in Nevada. It's unclear whether this or this oral tradition about the so-called cc.jpg giants existed, or if it was an exaggeration or distortion of their legends made after the Paiutes were mostly killed or dispersed in 1833 by an expedition by explorer Joseph Walker. Brian Dunning of Skeptoid explored Paiute legends and found no mention of the cc.jpg being giants. It seems there was, however, a people who practiced cannibalism who lived in Lovelock Cave. Human remains have been found there, and a few of the human bones had the marrow removed, suggesting the marrow was eaten. Cannibalism seems to have been a rare practice among these people, though. And the remains do have red hair, but this may be because black hair can turn red after a long period of time. Miners unearthed the artifacts in 1912, leaving them in a pile before eventually contacting the University of California. Anthropologist Llewellyn L. Loud traveled from the university to the site to investigate. It's commonly agreed that excavation of the site was not handled well and certainly not up to modern standards. But some proponents of the cc.jpg giants theory say researchers have deliberately covered up any giant remains that were found there. This is Unbended Reality. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.